What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Tech. Oh, sorry. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Tech Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Tuesday. So if you guys have never tuned in for any of our YouTube videos before, my name is Ricky. I have a little bit over 142,000 subscribers within my YouTube platform, a little bit over 90,000 members within our free trading community of Tech Solutions. It's the third link in the description. If you like to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, then we'd love to be a part of your success, and we'd love to have you join our group. So feel free to check it out. Click that third link, and we can kind of get that going. So I'm going to be talking about some kind of principles when it comes down to swing trading. I've made numerous videos about this. And a question that I've been getting a little bit more often is overall confirmation. Like, what is confirmation? What is it to kind of look for when a stock is beginning to reverse or show signs some form of like a reversal pattern? So if it was selling off and there's a very consistent like horizontal or ascending uptrend pattern, what is it? What is like the indicators that are used to get a better understanding of when to know when to potentially take a small position and then start averaging up and stuff like that. So this is my this is like my own opinion on my trading experience and stuff like that. You 100% do not have to trade the way that it is that I trade. You guys can watch a couple of my videos. I've had some weeks closing a little bit over $3,000, so like 3,800, 3,300 within the past 2 weeks and stuff like that. So it's been pretty solid. Today is not a huge day. It's still a very profitable day. I believe I was at 400 right now, if I'm not mistaken. I'm at 344, and I'll show you guys all that right now. So let me actually just move this here. So this is the TD Ameritrade Think or Swim platform. I have a small swing trade position going on right now with DGAS. Let me just make sure that you guys can see everything okay. This looks a little weird. How's it look now? Let's see. There we go. So you guys can see right now on my active trader, you can see I'm up $344.08 on my overall position. I'm up $208 on the day. Some of my profits came from yesterday. Again, this is a swing trade. What is it that I saw? If you guys are part of Learn, Plan, Profit, that's the first link in the description. Or if you guys are part of Tech Solutions as a whole, I was sending some updates last night on the natural gas future just because of the huge pullback that it experienced after market hours. And I think that this is something that we could use as leverage on why this thing is going to most likely continue trending down. Again, this is my breakdown. This does not mean 100% that this is what's going to happen. So first of all, let me just talk about the pattern first on why I saw value in DGAS. So usually when I look at stocks that I'm potentially looking to do some swing trades, I look at the 180-day analysis. This is my preference. This is what I like to do. You 100% don't have to do it. A very consistent pattern that I noticed, and I talked about it in our Sunday Stock Talk. That's our weekly meeting. So you guys can look at sorry about that. You guys can look at even a 20-day analysis. So I looked at the 180-day analysis. You can see the overall pattern here. This range, this like almost horizontal pattern. There's a lot of consolidation that happens around the $27 price point to about $30. Although it does hit highs of about 31, 32. That's a little bit not far-fetched. It's just a little bit more risky if I want to hold it. If you guys don't know my style of trading, it's pretty conservative. So I don't like to kind of just hope for the best, right? I like to prepare kind of for the worst, right? So based on that understanding, I saw that it was having a sell-off. It made sense on why this was having a sell-off, looking at the overall pattern for natural gas, right? Natural gas, when natural gas pushes up, these are the features for natural gas, UGAS pushes up as well. So UGAS is the bull ETF for natural gas. So it was pushing up, but then again, looking at the patterns for natural gas or for UGAS, you can see that it really gets rejected at around that $60 price point. It's been rejected before. It did not mean 100% that it had to get rejected there again. It did pull back. It had a little bit of a sell-off, but really what I was trying to focus most on was the overall pattern for natural gas. And I saw that it usually does peak out at around the 275 to 280 price point. So I knew that looking at DGAS, again, using this as a reference, so when UGAS goes up, DGAS goes down, and when DGAS pulls back, then DGAS, or when UGAS pulls back, then DGAS will push back up. And it made sense. So there's like the understanding, like when I want to take a position, I want to make sure that I'm getting a good deal, right? So I try to understand the low points and the high points. That's one of the first things. I look at the futures, and then I see how those are trading, and I see if the future itself, because the natural gas future, when that thing pulls back, then DGAS will push up. So I'm trying to see, hey, what are some indications that I can look at for natural gas to indicate that, hey, this thing might be pulling back pretty soon? It would be based on the technical understanding that, hey, it's at a price point of 275 to 280, which is normally where it peaks out at. So it would almost make sense on why it would peak out here, right? Also, it's been showing a very consistent descending pattern of making lower lows. And that's something that I find very attractive in the correlation to DGAS, right? So that's why I first saw value in DGAS. I saw that it was showing some signs of consolidation as of yesterday, and as of yesterday, we can go on the 1 day 5-minute chart. I saw it break below 26.57. That's not when I took a position because it was actively trending down. How do you know when something is actively trending down? It was trading in between the middle VWAP and the bottom VWAP. One thing that I noticed is then it started to reverse. My alert went off that it went above 26.80, and then my alert went off that it went above $27. And that's when I found it to be attractive, because then I saw it trading in between the middle VWAP and top VWAP, showing signs of an uptrend pattern, which within the past couple of days, it has not been showing. So then again, I took a step back, you can look at a 10-day analysis, you can look at a 20-day analysis, and see again, this very horizontal pattern from $28 to $30. So first of all, the first question you ask yourself is, are you getting a good deal? So the low points and the high points, and are you getting it pretty close to the support? The second thing that I ask myself is, there's this margin of potential profit, right? The normal pattern. So yes, it does sell off below $28 sometimes, like this case, and sometimes it does push above $30 and it pushes up to 31. That's great and all, but in reality, we usually get a pattern from around $28, I apologize, to about $30. 7.34% potential for profit, about 7% plus, right? That's very attractive to me. That's more than enough profit that, with one swing trade that I would love to be able to capitalize on, right? So with that understanding, I understand that, hey, this margin of profit is worth my trade. I understand the pattern. Now, the last thing that I have to wait for is for the overall confirmation. And that's what I saw yesterday. I saw this thing start picking up. And I start something that it wasn't doing before, that it was showing signs of a descending pattern. So when we go on the 5-day 5-minute chart, we can see that it was showing signs of this descending pattern. And as of yesterday, it was showing signs of this potential reversal. And that's what influenced me to want to take a position. I'm just sharing my thought process on why I chose to take a position. Now, overnight, going back, I'm trying to share everything that I can of what I can remember of, again, what really motivated me to do this. Yesterday, we saw it peak out at around highs of almost 278, right? And then it started getting rejected. And then after market hours, during extended hours, because futures can trade a little bit longer or longer than the stocks themselves. So what I started to see is there to be a huge sell-off during aftermarket hours. And this is something that we talked today in the Learn Plant Profit group. We talked about, so again, how do I know that the natural gas futures were trending down? Middle VWAP and bottom VWAP. It's showing signs of a descending pattern. The thing about this is it's great and all that it's showing signs of a downward pattern, because that means that DGAS would have opened at like $28, $29, which means that I would have made a ton of money today in the thousands. But because the overall future itself ended up reversing and recovering by the time the market opened, it ended up opening at the same price, if not higher, than where it closed at yesterday. And that's very important to understand. That's something that I talked about and I made very clear to all those that are part of Learn Plant Profit, that yes, if a future during extended hours is pulling back, I want you to know that that does not mean 100% that it's going to open in your favor, or that you have an overall confirmation of a descending pattern, because this could happen where then it begins to reverse. The same thing happened with Forward/GC, if I'm not mistaken. So I had a sell-off, but then ended up recovering right before the market opened. And that's what led to the success for JNEG today, if I'm not mistaken. It's still green. Yeah, it's still green, and it's on its way to make new highs. So when it came down to the overall pattern for DGAS, I mean, it's still in my favor, right? It's still in my favor as it's trading. It's trying to trade in between the middle VWAP, and it's trying to trade in between the top VWAP. It's been struggling. It's been consolidating for quite some time. But the thing that I find very attractive about this one is, even just on this 10-day analysis, you can see this very consistent horizontal pattern. And the overall natural gas future has not gave me any indicator or anything like that it's absolutely on its way to make even higher highs. And if it does give me any indication that the natural gas future, so again, looking at natural gas, if I have some form of indication that I see the candles start breaking again above the EMA and it starts pushing up and towards the top VWAP, I will cover profits on DGAS and pull out, right? The reason why is because I know that if natural gas future goes up, if it starts to indicate signs of an uptrend pattern, which it 100% can, then I know that UGAS is going to start pushing up, and then that's going to be in favor of UGAS and not DGAS. But as of now, it's showing you can see that this sell-off, this rejection that I got from the top VWAP, it's now trading and holding at around the middle VWAP, and one of two things can happen. It's either gonna push up and then I have to cover profits on degas, right? Or it's gonna get rejected and then continue to sell off and most likely bounce on this SMA line. That is my plan. I shared with you what it is that I saw before I took my position, the pattern, the reason that I saw value in it. I verified it with the future, right? The other thing that I saw is the margin of profit was worth it for me. So although from $28 to $30, I got in. I'm in at an average right now of 27.10 pretty much, 27.099. So 27, let's just say like 27.10, right? Right here, let's say there, and then if I can end up selling, even where the what's it called, SMA line is at, let's say it gets rejected there, even if it gets rejected by the SMA line, that's a little bit under 6%, but if I can end up hitting the goal of about the price point of $30, that's over 10% profit with one single trade. And for myself, that is more than enough. I just have to take one position to achieve that 10% growth, and that's what I call quality trading, right? Make sure that you don't trade based on other people's opinion. Make sure that you understand the pattern that you are investing in. I don't have a stop loss for all those that are going to be asking. I don't have a stop loss. I will cut my losses or cover profits when there is a break of pattern. And if you don't know what I mean by that, then you need to do a little bit more due diligence and watching a little bit more videos or reading a little bit more on what the series of patterns that it is that I try to trade. I try to trade horizontal patterns and ascending uptrend patterns, and I try to keep it as simple as possible. And as long as you understand the pattern and the margin of profit is worth it and it's showing signs of an ascending uptrend pattern, overall, as long as you continue to try to focus on quality trades, based on my experience, the success rate not only for myself but the people within the Tech Build Solutions group and Learn Plan Profit has been pretty high. Another call out that we had as of yesterday was ticker symbol X. X when it was at $35. Today it pushed up to almost highs of 37. Very consistent pattern. So if you look at the past 20 days, very consistent ascending uptrend pattern. Again, we don't focus on anything that's super aggressive. Very consistent uptrend pattern. We talked about Tesla and this reversal that it was having, looking at this 180-day analysis on why it would have this sell-off. It made sense, and that's why we call this to be a sell, right? I call this one out during our Sunday stock tech and even prior to that. JNUG right now showing, again, still signs of an uptrend pattern. I don't find this to be the best deal, right? It's not a good deal right now. It's still pushing up, and that's great, but it's way overextended, and that's why I don't find this to be very attractive. Now with Drip, Drip is still pushing down. It's making lower lows, and that's why I sold off a portion of what it is that I had invested in it, because it's not showing indication of an uptrend pattern. It's still selling off, and JNUG, based on what I see, looking at the overall pattern on this 180-day analysis, do you see this previous resistance that it had at $30? I think that's where it's heading. That's where it's heading. It's showing a very similar pattern to what it did before. It has a sell-off, and then it bounces at this SMA line. Something to take into consideration for all those that are still either looking to invest in Drip or potentially already invested in it. So and then covering back to IO has been growing time after time, but very conservative ascending uptrend pattern, very gradual growth. This is not something that's very aggressive at all. So yeah, just wanted to break those down. So let's see what you guys have to say. All right. Rafaki is asking, how do you swing trade? I hope you're kidding, because this is what this whole video is about. So, my goodness. Wait until this video uploads, and yeah. Possible reversal on gold at a resistance, good for JDST. JP, I 100% agree. There is no confirmation just yet that it's getting rejected, but I would 100% follow up with it, as it could potentially get rejected at around the 1350 price point for /GC, and if we see it getting rejected there, then I think that could be an indication when JDST pushes up above $50, can be pretty solid. So we have a couple people laughing because of that question, and I don't mean to like subjugate you. You might just be a new trader and you're just asking that question. I 100% understand. I would encourage you to wait till this video uploads. You can watch the entire video. I've explained it step by step on how is it that I swing trade, why I saw value, the pattern that I saw, why I took a position, the reason why, and then stuff like that. So yeah. So Crazy Videos HD. So when I'm talking about swing trading, You're right. I do look at the overall 180-day analysis to understand the big picture pattern. I've explained this multiple times, and I'm pretty sure you're part of the Learn Plan Profit group. Um, now that I understand the overall big picture pattern, I still look at it intraday to see how it's trading and how it's trending, just following up with it. Overall, I have major alerts set on the very top and bottom to give me an understanding of if it's trending up or if it's getting rejected. But overall, if I want to follow up with something and maybe add more to my position, I'm going to look at it intraday to ensure that even intraday I get in at a good price as it's recovering big picture. So big picture, we can see that it's showing signs of an uptrend pattern. It's showing signs of a potential reversal. But intraday, I want to make sure that I don't buy at the top VWAP. And if I look at the 180-day analysis, I won't have that understanding. So that's why I look at it intraday to have a better understanding of how it is that it's trading. And if I want to add more to my position, that I add it at the right price point. So that's why. 100%. So Diego is like, leave the guy alone. We were all on that same point. Yeah, 100%. That's why I didn't want to. I just thought I thought you guys were joking when someone said that. So let's see. All right. Do you trade crypto? Mark James. That's actually something that we're going to be bringing back. So we're going to be introducing just a couple members that we're going to be bringing onto the TechBud Solutions team that we're really excited about. And I'm going to be trading crypto at a certain extent, but nothing super aggressive. So for all those that are interested, be sure to kind of stay tuned because it's going to be pretty exciting. So yeah. What is the application that I am using? I am using the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. I have a bunch of videos explaining how it is that I have it set up and all that good stuff. So, yep. That's it. So, yeah, some people are asking some pretty weird questions. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's a couple weird questions that are being asked and stuff like that. I don't really understand them all. So, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's weird things that are being said. Okay, So I just explained why I don't use a stop loss. So I explained because I focus on patterns and that's what's worked well for me. So that's why. Okay, I'm done. I don't know what all these questions are. I don't really understand them. So, all right, guys, I don't want to be rude, but some of the questions that are being asked are already, I have a bunch of videos on YouTube I want to say almost over 800 videos on YouTube that you guys can dedicate a little bit of time to. Use the YouTube search bar. And if you want to learn more about simple moving average, SMA, stop loss, and all that good stuff, I have a couple videos. You don't have to watch my videos. There's a bunch of different videos out there. So Martin, I don't want to say that. It's just I think we have quite a bit of new members that are just becoming familiar with what it is that we do here. So first of all, TechBud Solutions is a free trading community. I want to say we're at like 95,000 members now. Again, it's the third link in the description. You 100% don't have to join. I want to let you guys know that we're not going to tell you where to buy, where to sell. Even if you join my private group, the first link in the description, they have the ability to watch me trade every morning. I will 100% not tell you where to buy and where to sell. So if you think that regardless if it's my paid group or my free group, regardless of what it is, we will not tell you where to buy or where to sell. The paid group, the Learn Plan Profit Lesson Library, showcases and offers a series of videos that require showcase a step-by-step process on what it is that you need to know on how to successfully invest in the stock market, so you have an understanding of what to expect and how to take advantage and find these opportunities. Now you also get to work with me and ask me questions on a daily basis, and with that understanding, I want to make sure that there's a lot of people that sell courses with alerts and stuff like that. That is not something that I do, right? So as you can see by Abel saying LPP teaches you how to fish for life, and that is our goal. So we want to make sure that we educate our members to become self-independent and self-sufficient traders, meaning that you guys understand how to scan for stocks, how to identify patterns, how to identify good deals, and how to take advantage of those opportunities. 100% I understand that if you're just getting started, there's going to be a learning curve, right? Dedicate time. It is going to take time. It is going to take a lot of consistency, and you're not going to see the dollar return in the very beginning. Focus on consistent percentage growth, and then we could go from there. So thank you guys again. I hope that you guys all have an amazing day. I do apologize if some of the responses that I had to some of your guys' questions were, a little discouraging. It wasn't any of that. It's just I have a bunch of videos on YouTube that already offer so much of those questions that are already being asked. So if you do have a couple minutes, feel free to utilize the YouTube search bar and type in my name and type in your question. And I'm pretty sure that all those questions can be answered with some of the videos that I already uploaded. If you have about 30 seconds, be sure to click that first link in the description and learn a little bit more about my private group and how it is that you could work with me on a daily basis. Again, I believe we have one of the highest success rates when it comes down to investing in the stock market for those that are part of the Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library. And as you guys can see, we have quite a bit of people that are part of the Learn, Plan, Profit and Technical Solutions that can give you honest feedback if you want to ask for it. So thank you guys again so much for your time. I hope that you guys all have an amazing rest of your Tuesday, and continue working hard, continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives in your success. And like always, guys, let's make sure that we're in the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.